Hi, my name is Érika, I'm a knitter from Brazil, and you are watching me unravel a thrifted sweater to harvest yarn. So, at some point in the end of last year, I decided I was going to check one of the frequent tips that people give to others that want to acquire yarn on a budget. And this is thrift a sweater and unravel it to get the yarn. If you thrift a large enough sweater, you know you will have enough yarn to knit a project for yourself. So that's what I wanted to do. Of course, I was trying to find in the thrift stores wool, cashmere, alpaca, maybe natural fibers, and I didn't. I visited 4 different thrift stores in my city in the same day, and none of them had a single wool garment or alpaca or all the others. Their shelves were overwhelmingly occupied by polyester, acrylic and synthetic fibers. Here and there you would find a cotton knitted fabric. And I was pretty frustrated. I made a short about it, actually reels, and now it's a short in my channel. And then I decided just to make the trip worth something. I will pick any garment that would suit the purpose just to train in case someday I find some natural fibers. So I picked up one garment, one cardigan. When people suggest to search for thrifted garments, they will always say to check the tag and check the seams, because in the tag you will see the fiber composition, and in the seams you will see if the sides are not cut, because if the seams are rigid, then it means that there isn't a continuity to the yarn. The sides were cut and you will get small bits of yarn when you unravel. And they also say you should look for machine knits, because in machine knits you will have more certainty about the fiber content. I didn't find a suitable machine knit, so I got this one that didn't have a tag, but by the texture I know it's acrylic probably, and I just wanted to experiment. So in the next minutes you will see every step that I went through to unravel this sweater and make it into yarn that is useful for me to knit something out of it. I already picked the project, I already swatched for it, and you will see it in the very last moments of the video. And then we will have a continuity in which I will knit the sweater. We will have the sequence of videos that goes from sweater to sweater. So let's dive in.
Here is the cardigan that I bought. You can see that it's a size large, I believe. The stitches are twisted, maybe the knitter was a beginner. The bottom band was attached later, not knit together. And I will search for the end where I could start pulling and frogging the sweater. It's probably, yes, here, right in the bottom band. Let's start then. I started by taking off a little bit of the bottom band, cutting it, and then I cut the bottoms off too, so undoing the bottom band was easier. It was knitted in 2 moments, so I was able to frog one of the sides of the bottom band and not the other. It took me a lot of time, to be honest. This video is really sped. The entire process of frogging the cardigan took me, I think, 1 entire day, maybe 1 day and a half. And I was just pulling and pulling and pulling. Here, listen. Did you hear the ribbit? That is why it's named frogging. So here in this moment, I managed to unravel a small amount, to be honest, just 1 front and 1 sleeve. We're approaching a checkpoint soon. I still have 1 sleeve, the back panel, and 1 front panel to unravel, and I already have this much yarn from another sleeve and another front panel, and from the bottom band. The tiny ones are from the bottom band, of which I still have this much left. And well, I couldn't save this. This is yarn used for seaming and other bits that just were loose. Some of these in the ball are not so long threads,
but can be used. And this maybe for emergency I'll keep. And yeah, I think I'm going to get a pretty good amount out of this. Let's see.
And it's done. All the balls here. Now let's transform these balls in skins so we can wash them and dry them to recover the yarn.
I've turned some of them, the balls, into these noodles. I think I'm going to put this to a bed because I don't have a big bowl, so I will wash them and continue there because I want to see what happens here. I'm preparing the bed for the yarn, a little bit of fabric softener just because it's acrylic, a little bit of this product Lisoform because it's a disinfectant to keep the smell away in case it takes too long to get dry. Not much, just really a little bit. And a little bit of hot water in the cold water to make it tepid. Here they come, my little yarn noodles.
After I finished washing all my skins in turns, I hang them all in the cord outside to dry, left them there overnight. So in the next day I took them all out of there and I ironed them with very much care. At first just vaporizing them, I forgot the name in English, I'll add to the screen, and then iron with a towel over them so that they straighten it like that. You will see soon all of them straight here. They're not perfect, of course, but way better. Now I twisted all of them to store. You take each side of the yarn between your index finger and your thumb and you twist about 8 times, and then you take one of the sides and pass them through the hole of the other, and again folding it like that as I'm showing, and done. This is how they all ended up looking like. See? Perfect skins. To weigh your yarn, turn on the scales, put the container on top of it and press there so the weight of the container will be discounted. Then you will place all of your yarn inside of it and see the total. Then later you will wait a little bit and measure it to learn how much meters do you have. My total stored here.
Hey, today is January 17, 2025, and this is the day in which I will finally use this yarn, which I unraveled, remember, from an old cardigan, because today is the day to cast on for a call from a Facebook group in which I am in about vintage knitting. The name is here in the screen, the link will be in the description. They are making their first call and the theme is the 40s. So I'm going to knit this cabled cardigan. The name is 2-ply cabled cardigan from Stitchcraft 191 from November 1949, almost at the cut date. So yes, I'm going to finally experiment this yarn and I come back to you when the swatch is ready. Bye bye. Forgot I had to turn it into a ball to knit it with it. Here, all balled up, and I'm going to use these 4mm needles straight because my 4mm needles are all busy with other projects and will be for a long time as I have most projects to use them. The pattern recommends 3 3/4, but that's what I have, so let's try it. So here is my gauge swatch. Can you see it? Here. So I did not get gauge with the 4mm. I had to go down to 3.25 25 millimeters. Then I got gauge. This was the recommended needles. I did love the stitch, but I hated this color, so this swatch is a little bit of a disappointment. I will not be knitting an entire cardigan, an entire cable cardigan for that matter, in this color. There's no way. I might knit it, but I won't wear it, so I don't want to put myself through it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to dye. So we will have, I think, two other parts to this video. The first will be dyeing this, the yarn I have recovered, and the third will be by knitting and finishing this project. I still don't know which color I will pick. Maybe I will just make it into a brighter yellow, because the problem with it to me is that it's pastel. I don't wear pastel colors, you can see. I wear dark colors. I will either go brighter yellow, which would be nice because I don't have many yellow garments. For a reason, I don't really love yellow. Or I could go the safe road and dye it bright red, just as the sample of this garment in the magazine was. I would dye it either bright red. In any of these cases, I will add some drops of glue to make it cooler. And another option is to dye it navy blue. I have less navy blue cardigans, I guess, but I also have a lot of blue winter garments, and I don't know. The other possibility will be that I will knit this for the cowl in black, and then I will dye it with any color I decide, and knit another project, another vintage project. That's it for now, and well, I see you in the rest of the video. I'm back here. I'm filming the intro and the outro in the same day, so that's why I look the same. And well, as you saw, I wasn't very thrilled by the swatch I got. I still want to dye it, however, I already started the card. I already started it yesterday. I've casted it on using a tubular method to get a nice edge in my ribbon. I always do that. That's why sometimes it takes me a little to cast on. This is the back panel. Why I decided to start it? Well, because when I was studying about dyeing, I found out that it's much easier to get a good result dyeing an entire garment than dyeing a yarn. Of course, people who dye yarn will disagree maybe, but I'm not a yarn dyer, nor do I want to become one, at least in the future, near future. Forever, I don't know, but I want to dye for my use. And although I do have most of my yarn still in skein form, and so I could use the skeins to dye them, based on a recent experiment I made with another thrifted garment, which I dyed entirely, and I will be showing it in the channel at some moment. Well, based on that experience, I decided I was going to knit the cardigan first and then dye it. Because also I haven't decided on the color yet. I'm leaning towards a bright yellow, because as I said, I don't have many yellow garments. It will be something different for my wardrobe. I checked if the swatch was too see-through, because I often wear black tops underneath, and if it was see-through it would be weird, but I think it has coverage enough that it will be okay if I dye it yellow and wear it with darker colors underneath. So stay tuned for the next parts of it. This one will probably be a project diary, because it's a vintage project and it will be nice to see my hiccups maybe along the way and the finished project and all of that. So happy knit. I hope this video was useful for you somehow, and subscribe to follow my journey in this project and all the other ones. If you want to check my other videos, feel free to, and until the next one, bye bye.